Hello. I just thought I would pop on and share with you the most helpful top things I've learnt as a beginner so far. The 5 top things I've learnt as a beginner so far that have helped me the most. So the first thing and the most important thing I think as a beginner to needle felting. Now I've been felting about 8 months now, and the very first thing, the fastest thing I learned was the difference between carded wool and tops wool. This is tops. Now when you're looking and you first look at needle felting, whether it be if you've bought a kit, whether you've just seen somebody on one of these YouTube shorts or Instagram or something, and you've thought, oh my god, that's lovely, I love that, it's so pretty, how did they do that? And then you've searched and they've said it's needle felted, it's fiber art or something like that, and you put it in and you've either bought a kit or you've bought one of these Timudu things and all that kind of stuff. And then it's come and you can buy, sometimes they come like this, and you think, oh my god, look at all these colours, they're fantastic, and you open them up and you're faced with this. And so you follow it. These shorts videos are great, and they bundle it up and they start to felt it together, and then it's like, what, this is so frustrating, it's not going together, it's not. And you think, well, how did they do it? It looks so easy. And it doesn't, and all the fibres are pulling apart, and you're like, well, it's not staying together. And it's probably because the kit you've bought, or the wool you've bought, is you bought these 30 colours and it was a fabulous price, and all that. It's tops. And it's very difficult as a beginner to get this smooth, beautiful ball and sculpted little animal, whatever you're making, with tops. You might, I'm making something with this, you might start thinking, sort of just a 3D shape like this. And you sort of start sculpting it together. Okay, it's actually carded wool. This is carded, let me pull some off for you. This is carded wool. Okay, this is carded wool. See the difference? This is fluffy and soft, and it's all going in one direction, like a fluffy cloud, all in one direction, okay? All in one long line. This is carded wool, and it's going in a million different directions and looks totally different. Soft, fluffy cloud, but it's in a million different directions. Can you see? You pull it apart and it's like what you expect. It's like cotton wool. Okay? Like cotton wool looks like when you tear cotton wool apart when you're a kid. And you play with the cotton wool and your mum tells you off. Okay, this, easy to felt down like a ball and make a 3D ball with. This, not so much. So you need to start off making your shape. This is great when you want to make I'll give you a quick glimpse of something I'm working on. My little ballerina. When you want to make little ballerina dresses, when you want to make hair, that's made with tops. This is made with tops, this is made with tops, this is made with carded. Okay, so that's the difference. This is carded, this is tops. That is the most fundamental, best thing you can learn when you're starting out. When you start, you have no idea. And that is the best thing I have learned so far. That's the very best first thing you can learn so far. Okay, so that's the first thing. Second thing, which actually, oh hello, oh dear, comes from the first, related, is to learn to start with a medium to firm base. So if you're doing a a character. Let me bring in what's going to be a hare. It doesn't look like one now. It's a bit freaky, and this is the what I call the ugly stage. It's going to be a hare. Is when, oh hello, when you start off building your base, it is really important to get this core. So he started off a little bit scrawnier like this, and this is even more ugly. To get the fundamentals on the inside firm, medium to firm, and to build, some people I've noticed, great big wodge, start with a great big, and then sort of really felt down. They got a great big middle, and they felt down, and they keep felting, and it shrinks and shrinks and shrinks. That hurts my hands terribly, really hurts my hands. And also, I get blinded. I don't really know where I'm going. I get lost in the shape, and it really doesn't work for me. I like to start off with a really skinny little body and build up lots of layers. And each layer I put on, I firm that layer, and I sculpt that layer to what I want, and then I go again, and I go again, and I go again. It takes longer, but it works for me. These legs, so see how I'm building up the shape of the leg here? It's a really scrawny little teeny thigh, but I will build that up, and I'll build that up, and I'll go down, and I'll build it up. And that works best for me. The chest area I'm building up here, I will build that up in several layers, and I will build up this abdomen better, and I'm building up the thigh here. This one, can you see now? Look, this one is skinny. This one is fatter. I'm building this up more. So this one will become more like this, and that will still be built up some more. But each layer is a medium to firm base. I don't build up so firm that you can't firm up anymore, because when I get to the end, there are still more things I want to firm before I get to, bear with me 1 minute, before I get to this stage. So I like to build up layers, and I don't want to get too firm, because I might want to, when I get to this stage, I might want to change it a little bit more. So that's the second thing, is to work with medium to firm layers rather than get too floppy, because your sculpture just won't stand up. The third best thing I've learned, and to save my hands, is multi-needle tools. I love these. Now, so here's your needles. Most used needles for me are my 38 and my 40. Okay, love those. But I discovered multi-needle tools. Clover, everybody know, all the needle felters know about these. Clover pens. I have 2 clover pens. And they normally come, the clover pen needles are a 40. So I have one with 2 needles in, and I have one with 3 needles in. Oh, hello, where's my third? Well, this one's normally got 3 needles in. So I've got one with 2 needles in, and this one's normally got 3 needles in. I don't know where I've put the third needle in here. And then that helps me a lot. As I'm sculpting then, I'm back and forth between the 2 needles and the 3 needles. And then that helps me massively as I'm smoothing out layers, especially on faces. And then I've got this one came from World of Wool. And this is I think this one goes to, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. And this is great when you're doing flat ears and 2D felting, but this one I use for ears. I've got 3 in there at the moment. I have up to 5. I don't do the whole 7 because it's really hard to push through. But multi-needle tools save such a lot of time, and they save your hands massively. And the next thing is this. This is a godsend. Now I have a fantastic, if I can find it, lots of people, this is personal preference. Your felting mat is personal preference. It's a really personal choice. Lots of people use wool buddies. This is a really nice one. This is from Simply Felting. I'll put the link in the description. This is a nice one. But what I find, see, with these, so I like this one, but my favourite is just a foam pad. Now, most people say this is really to get a piece of felt and put it over the top of your foam pad or your wool buddy and that helps to lengthen the life of your foaming pad. And they're really good, and they're also good when you're doing felting sheets and stuff like that, because I make my own felting sheets. I love, and I got this from World of Wool, I believe. I'll have a look and put it in the description. But it is big. It is huge compared to it. It is 11 3/4. Yeah, it's 11 3/4 by 11 3/4. And the reason I love it is because I actually like a bigger one. Because I'm fairly new to needle felting, I'm a bit all over the place. I lie things down, I stick my needles in one corner, I've got everything everywhere, I've got my needles, I've got my wool, and I'm a bit sort of cumbersome. And perhaps when I've been felting a lot longer, I'll be a bit neater and but I find that having a big mat helps me to be a bit clumsy, and I don't have sort of, if I had a smaller surface, I'd be a little bit, everything would be falling all over the place. So this helps me to keep all my needles, helps me to keep things out of the way, and I've still got a large enough area to hold my piece on that I'm working. And especially because I do larger pieces, sculptures and stuff, a smaller pad would frustrate me greatly. So I like the largest pad I can find. If I had a bigger one, I would love that even more. I love large felting pads, the largest I can get. And I love the foam because I can just stick all my needles in really easily, and they spring and they bounce back, and I just find them easier than the sort of the wool ones that I've tried so far. I just find them better. And probably the safest thing that I've found so far is finger guards. Now, I don't like using them because I haven't got as much, when I'm doing, I like to feel what I'm doing, but when I'm doing small things like ears, like feet, I have to put these on because the amount of stabs I get is amazing. So I do use the finger guards still. A lot of experienced felters don't use them at all, but I find them really, really useful. When I'm doing the edges of my ears, I hold the finger guard, I hold the ear when I use the finger guards to neaten up the edges of things, of feet and ears, and anywhere where I think that I'm not experienced enough yet. Yeah, I put the finger guards on. And definitely in the very early days, in my first few weeks, I wore them all the time because they hurt. But I did find that if I've got the finger guards on, I do this. It's a bit daft, really. But definitely use the finger guards if you're clumsy like I am. The amount of war wounds I have is unbelievable. And my son hates it when I pull with blood. So have I got everything? Carded wool, needles, large spun, basin layers, finger guards. And the big top tip. Here we go. The big top tip. If you, as a beginner, when you're starting off, if you put in, however you found needle felting, however you have got into this wonderful craft, if you, for your supplies and for learning, if you put in on the internet needle felting supplies or needle felting tips or needle felting anything, up will come, for supplies will come Temu and Amazon, and lots of other places. It is much, much better to go to a reputable specific needle felting supplier, such as World of Wool, Simply Felting, Heidi Feathers, Feltbox, anything like that. They are specific, good quality needle felting supplies. For wool, I always go to either Simply Felting or World of Wool. Now, obviously, other big felters know, I have watched hundreds of YouTube videos, and World of Wool comes up over and over and over again. And I love Simply Felting. Their wool is very good quality, and World of Wool is really good quality. Also, needles. I always, the Heidi Feathers are very highly recommended, and I love Simply Felting needles as well. So Simply Felting needles and Heidi Feathers needles are fantastic. They are really, really, really good. YouTube channels. There are loads of really, really, really good YouTube channels that are so informative and are brilliant, and they give their time and they are fantastic. There are loads, but Felts by Philippa is brilliant. She's got such good knowledge. She's lovely. Sarafina Fiber Art is really, really good. And I love Liongate Farm. This really, really lovely lady. And she does some really, really good felts. But it is a world of knowledge out there. It's fantastic. But those are the things that I have found as a complete beginner the most useful. Yeah, so from one beginner to another, I hope you find this video helpful. Yeah, I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.